Why does having diabetes increase the risk of heart disease? That was a question I was trying to figure out when I got diagnosed with diabetes when I was only 36 years old. The doctors didn't know if I had type 2 diabetes or some form of type 1 diabetes because I was young, thin, active, and my pancreas was producing plenty of insulin. The reason diabetes increases risk of disease is that what causes heart disease and diabetes are the same: consuming excessive amounts of saturated fat, usually from dairy, oils, and animal protein. In other words, if you have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, you already have heart disease. But the good news is that it can be reversed. I thought that heart disease is for older people, heavy people, or those that don't exercise. Wrong! People as young as 2 years old can have heart disease. Dr. John McDougall had a stroke when he was only 18 years old from his high-fat diet of eggs, pizza, and hot dogs. He became paralyzed on one side of his body for 2 weeks. He's had a permanent limp due to that stroke. The reason most people are unaware that they have heart disease is that the earliest doctors test for it as at age 18, if even then. Exercise doesn't lower cholesterol or prevent or reverse heart disease. So you cannot eat whatever you want without damaging your organs, even if you're lean and exercise. Even marathon runners with very little body fat have had heart attacks. I didn't get tested for high cholesterol, which is proof of heart disease, until I was 36. My total cholesterol was 201, which is too high. An ideal total cholesterol level is 150, so my total cholesterol was 51 points too high. My doctor was going to put me on a statin to lower my cholesterol level, but a drug that lowers cholesterol isn't ridding a person of heart disease. You still have heart disease, just a lowered cholesterol reading, plus a bunch of awful side effects from taking prescription medication. No doctor or nurse told me to avoid oils and animal protein or to limit nuts and coconut, which are high in saturated fats. I didn't consume any dairy because I was born with a severe dairy allergy, so my saturated fats didn't come from dairy. I was eating chicken, turkey sausages, turkey burgers, pork ribs, pork chops, salmon, fried egg rolls, French fries, and scrambled eggs. I made desserts with Crisco, oil, or margarine. You've probably heard not to pour oil down the drain because it will clog it. Well, that's what it does to us when we eat it. I had no idea that restaurants use a lot of oil, including adding oil to their sauces, such as teriyaki sauce. My high-fat diet made my blood sugar go up, clogged my organs and tissues with saturated fat, and the animal protein triggered autoimmune attacks against my pancreatic beta cells. Beta cells are a critical part of the endocrine system, which regulates blood sugar by producing insulin to push blood sugar out of the bloodstream and into the cells for energy. My endocrinologist and the dietitians in my medical plan told me to eat a high-protein diet and high-fat diet and lower my carbs, which I did to manage my diabetes. While high-protein, low-carb diets do lower blood sugars, a low-carb diet with animal protein increases heart disease risk because I was eating more saturated fat. This way of eating manages diabetes, but it doesn't get rid of diabetes. Since I continued eating animal protein and oils, my body kept attacking my beta cells, which ended up causing beta cell destruction. In other words, these critical beta cells committed suicide because they couldn't take the beating anymore. With fewer beta cells means less insulin, and it means insulin injections for life, which sucks. Research now shows that drinking milk and eating animals increases risk for type 1 diabetes due to a pathogen called Mycobacterium avium paratuberculosis from infected animals. The research connection between consuming dairy and animal flesh and type 1 diabetes is so strong that scientific literature revealed that every person in one particular study with type 1 diabetes had this disgusting bacteria. Whenever I ate bacon and eggs or sausages, my heart hurt. I had no idea that my chest pain was a sign of heart disease at 19 years old. Chronic constipation when I was 16 is another sign that I was eating the wrong foods and not eating enough fiber, which is only found in plants. If I had known that animal products, the animal protein, the saturated fat, the cholesterol, and vegetable oils were causing my diabetes diagnosis and having to take medication that made me dizzy, bruised, itchy, that when a person has one disease, they collect more over the years. So I didn't just have diabetes. 14 years later, I also had hives, sun sensitivity, broken nails, anemia, hair loss, a malar rash, chronic pain, and swollen fingers and toes. And yet I was following doctor's advice and taking medication as prescribed. Luckily, I found Mastering Diabetes on YouTube, read the book, went vegan, and got rid of the vegetable oils. I finally got to eat the foods I love and crave, fruit and vegetables like potatoes. Because there was so much damage done to my body from my diet over many years, I needed more help than a low-fat, plant-based diet. So I followed Dr. Brooke Goldner's autoimmune detox for 5 months. Today, I'm happy to report that the hives, sun sensitivity, broken nails, anemia, hair loss, the rash on my cheeks, the chronic pain, and swollen fingers, feet, and toes are a thing of the past. I even got blood tests confirming type 1 diabetes antibodies, which were positive, are now negative. My body is no longer attacking my organs and tissues because I eat the foods my body needs for sustenance and repair and stopped eating foods I wasn't meant to eat in the first place. I'm telling you this because I wish someone had told me this. I would have happily traded a ham sandwich for a peanut butter and banana sandwich, or scrambled eggs for a fruit smoothie or oatmeal with blueberries. Because I didn't eat a low-fat plant-based diet soon enough, back when I was first diagnosed with diabetes, I have nerve impairment and a pancreas that's permanently damaged. So I must take insulin injections for the rest of my life. This is why it is so important to act now. Don't wait. Even if you feel well today, there's no way to know what will happen to you tomorrow. Processed foods, dairy, oils, and animal protein are harmful to everyone. There's a vegan alternative for every food you eat now, so it's easier than ever to make the switch. If you want to learn more about my story, I wrote a book about it, which includes the delicious plant-based foods that helped me heal, called the High Five Diet. To order directly from my website, go to thehighfivediet.com. I'll show you some of my favorite healing foods next.